Alright, let's dive into something that's been making waves in Charleston, and no, I'm not talking about the beach. The Charleston board just approved conceptual plans for a mini golf course on James Island, and honestly, it's got me thinking about a lot more than just putt-putt. Here's the deal, this isn't your average mini golf setup. It's part of a bigger mixed-use development called Community Corner, and it's sparking some pretty interesting conversations. First off, the location is key. We're talking about the corner of Folly Road and Grimble Road extension, right near the Spyglass Seaside apartment complex. Personally, I think this spot is a smart choice. It's busy, it's visible, and it's zoned for limited business, which means it's designed to blend commercial uses with residential areas. But here's where it gets intriguing. The architects are going for a Lowcountry vibe, with rolling hills, little bridges, and grand oak trees. They're even planning a tiki hut under the tree canopy. What makes this really interesting is how they're trying to capture the essence of the region in a mini golf course. It's not just about the game, it's about creating an experience that feels rooted in the area's culture. In my opinion, this could either be a home run or a swing and a miss, depending on how well they execute it. Now, let's talk about the multipurpose building. It's going to house a pro shop, a restaurant, and a bar. One thing that immediately stands out is the modern design. The board members actually praised it for being inventive and contemporary while still nodding to Lowcountry motifs. But here's the kicker, they're not as thrilled about the parking garage and office building. Board member Lucas Boyd pointed out that the garage feels jarring compared to the main building. And honestly, I get it. When you're introducing something as utilitarian as a parking garage into a space that's trying to feel cohesive and thoughtful, it needs to be handled with care. What this really suggests is that even in a project like this, the devil's in the details. If the garage doesn't align with the overall aesthetic, it could throw off the entire vibe. What many people don't realize is that this project isn't just about mini golf or buildings, it's about how development impacts a community. 6 residents submitted comments opposing the project, citing concerns about infrastructure, traffic, and flooding. But here's the catch. The Design Review Board's authority is limited to site design and architecture. They're not the ones making calls on zoning, density, or traffic. From my perspective, this highlights a bigger issue in urban planning. How do we balance community concerns with the need for development? It's a question that doesn't have an easy answer, but it's one we need to keep asking. If you take a step back and think about it, this project is a microcosm of what's happening in so many cities right now. There's a push for mixed-use spaces that bring people together, but there's also a tension between growth and preservation. Personally, I think the success of Community Corner will depend on how well it navigates that tension. Can it be a space that feels both modern and rooted in the Lowcountry? Can it address residents' concerns while still moving forward? These are the questions that make this project so fascinating. What this really suggests is that development isn't just about building things, it's about building relationships. Between the community and the developers, between the past and the future, between form and function. A detail I find fascinating is how the architects are trying to evoke the feeling of a Lowcountry golf course in a mini golf setting. It's a small thing, but it speaks to a larger trend of trying to create spaces that feel authentic and meaningful. Whether they pull it off remains to be seen, but I'll definitely be keeping an eye on this one. So, what do you think? Is this the kind of development we need more of, or is it a step too far? Let me know in the comments. And if you take anything away from this, let it be this: the spaces we build say a lot about the values we hold. This raises a deeper question: what kind of spaces do we want to create, and for whom? Something to think about as we watch this project unfold.